everybody, welcome back to the channel. Happy Saturday. Still struggling with these glasses, so please bear with me. Today we're going to have another Asbo fairy tale called Mouldy and the Three Bears. A family of bears returned from their morning stroll to find that a group of students, led by Mouldy and her environment rep boyfriend, have taken up squatters' rights in their home. Once upon a time there were three bears, who lived in a well-kept cottage in a very nice area of the forest. Father Bear, Mother Bear and Little Bear each had a bowl for their nutritious fair trade porridge. A small bowl for Little Bear, a middle-sized bowl for Mother Bear, and a jumbo-sized bowl for Father Bear. They each had a chair to sit in, a small chair for Little Bear, a middle-sized chair for Mother Bear, and a great big reclining chair for Father Bear. And they each had a bed to sleep in. A small bed for Little Bear, a middle-sized bed for Mother Bear, and a great big bed with special anti-snoring pillows for Father Bear, which Mother Bear sometimes got into after 3 or 4 glasses of Shiraz. One day, after Mother Bear had made porridge for breakfast, they went for a walk in the forest, leaving the porridge to cool upon the oak dining table. Just as they left, a girl called Mouldy passed by the house. She lived on the other side of the forest, and was home from university for the summer. Her real name was Isabel, and she was a well-brought-up girl, but her boyfriend was environment rep in the student union, and this had caused her to smoke weed, grow dreadlocks, and dedicate her life to fighting for the cause of the common people. Mouldy peeped in at the keyhole, and, seeing nobody in the house, she lifted the latch. The door was not fastened because the bears had moved to a nice area, and they never suspected that anybody would harm them there. So Mouldy opened the door and went in. When she saw the porridge on the table, she set about helping herself, because she had learnt that the notion of private property was a capitalist ploy to keep the common people down. First she tasted Father Bear's porridge, but it was too hot for her. Next she tasted Mother Bear's porridge, but that was too cold for her. Then she tasted Little Bear's porridge, which was neither too hot nor too cold, but just right, and she liked it so much that she ate it all up, every bit. The warm porridge made Mouldy tired, so she sat down in Father Bear's chair, but it was too hard for her. Then she sat down in Mother Bear's chair, but that was too soft. Finally she sat in Little Bear's chair, and it was just right. However, it was made for a small bear, not a full-grown human, and the bottom of the chair fell out. Mouldy became angry and decided that the chair-makers were bloody fascists. She was so upset that she took out her mobile and dialed her boyfriend, who drove over in his dad's Porsche to comfort her. He looked around the bears' cottage and decided that it would be an ideal location for a peace camp, where their friends could live and educate the common people about how to overthrow the wicked capitalists. By now the three bears thought their porridge would be cool enough to eat, so they returned from their walk. When they tried the door, however, they found it nailed shut. Confused, Father Bear banged loudly on the door, and at length Mouldy stuck her head out of the upstairs window. "We're claiming squatters' rights," Mouldy declared gaily. "This is now a peace camp, and a refuge for the common people." "But what about our porridge?" said Father Bear. "It's full of sugar," said Mouldy "The corporations put it in there to make you addicted. How can you feed that rubbish to your son? It's tantamount to child abuse." "Come on, dear," said Mother Bear to her husband. "Let's fetch the King's guards." But the King's guards told them that the students had claimed squatters' rights. There was little they could do, and by the time the bears returned to the house there were many cars outside, and they could hear reggae music coming from within. Looking through the window, Father Bear saw several students demolishing the chairs and building a campfire in the middle of the polished oak floor. He hammered angrily on the door and demanded to be let in. Mouldy boyfriend appeared at the upstairs window and peered down at them with red eyes. "Are you the common people?" he asked, his voice slurring slightly. "We most certainly are not," retorted Mother Bear, incensed by his rudeness. "Well, you can't come in then," he said. "This camp is for the common people only. You middle-class bear wankers are the enemy. This is all for your own good." And with that an egg sailed from the window and hit Father Bear on the face. "What are we to do?" wailed Mother Bear, who could see several used tea bags dripping onto the kitchen worktop. "I have an idea," said Little Bear. "Let's go and see Uncle Barry." "We don't talk to Uncle Barry," said Mother Bear. "He's a disgrace to the family and a bad influence." However, the bears needed somewhere to stay for the night, and so they trudged miserably across the forest until they came to Uncle Barry's cottage. His cottage was not nice and well kept like their own cottage. There was a refrigerator in the garden, and a car with no wheels balanced on a pile of bricks outside. Uncle Barry, however, was happy to see them, and invited them in to share a meal with his family. There was no wholesome porridge at Uncle Barry's. His family dined on egg and chips, and they did so in front of the television, rather than at a proper dining table. Uncle Barry had 7 little bears of his own. All of them wore tracksuits and baseball caps, and they squabbled and fought over the remote control, and they hit each other and swore, and the eldest two, Stevie Bear and Davy Bear, smoked cigarettes in the garden. "What is this idea of yours, Little Bear?" whispered Mother Bear, who was battling the urge to start tidying Uncle Barry's kitchen. "Party at my house!" shouted Little Bear, and ran out of the door. All of Uncle Barry's little bears cheered loudly. They stopped fighting and followed Little Bear, who led them first to the off-licence, where they bought several bottles of Thunderfist cider, and then across the forest to the Bear's cottage, which now had even more cars in the driveway and a full-blown guitar jam session going on in the kitchen. Little Bear banged on the door and waited. "Are you the common people?" Mouldy slurred through the letterbox. "Yep," said Little Bear. The door was unbolted and the bears piled inside. Stevie Bear went to the stereo and put on a happy hardcore CD at full blast. Davy Bear grabbed a bottle of authentic tequila that one of the students had brought back from Mexico and tipped half of it into his cider. 2 of the other bears took guitars from the students and began to play Oasis songs. "What the hell's going on?" said Mouldy's boyfriend. "The common people have arrived," said Mouldy. "Word of the peace camp has spread. Now we can educate them about how to defeat the capitalist system." "You idiot," her boyfriend yelled at her. "You've let a load of chavs in. That one's wearing a tracksuit and drinking cheap cider. They're totally killing the buzz." "But these are the common people," said Little Bear. "Educate them." "These are completely the wrong type of common people," the boyfriend wailed. "I'm not educating them. They're absolutely fucking common. The peace camp is ruined." The students began to whisper amongst themselves, and soon they were filing out of the cottage, taking their guitars and tequila with them. Little Bear ran to fetch his parents, and they tidied and cleaned late into the night until they were exhausted and ready to fall into bed. They all went upstairs to the bedchamber, where Father Bear and Mother Bear got into their beds. Little Bear was just about to hop into his when he saw something out of the ordinary. "Somebody's been sleeping in my bed," he cried, "and here she still is." He lifted one corner of the cover, and there was Mouldy. Up she sat, whereupon the bear saw that she was sharing the bed with an empty bottle of Thunderfist and an embarrassed-looking Davy Bear. When Mouldy saw the 3 bears staring at her, she tumbled out and ran to the window, which she jumped through, and ran away into the night. "Score," said Davy Bear, and the bears all laughed and laughed and laughed. The end. Don't forget to like and subscribe and press the wee bell notification. And a huge big thank you to all my subscribers, patrons and members. See you next week. Bye bye.